Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Talkin' TV with Nick and Josh. And today we're actually starting a new series. It's HBO's The Night Of. We're here, me and Nick, like we always are. We have a special guest here with us today. Jerome.
First time on Talkin' TV with Nick and Josh.
First time.
Where are we at? Coming at you live from Grim's Kitchen. I couldn't see my bedroom.
Coming at you live. Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know.
It's pretty exciting.
More retarded.
It's definitely exciting. And you're sandwiched between us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like an Oreo?
I just feel sexy.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's good. That's good.
All right, so did you talk him into watching The Night Of, or did he just watch it already?
Oh, he told me about it.
I suggested it.
Yeah, he goes, just finished watching.
Well, you talked everybody I know that watches it. You've talked them into watching it.
The only, as soon as you said Bodie was in it, I was like, all right, cool, I'll check it out.
Yeah, then we looked it up, and
all it took.
That's really all it took. I mean, you're like, oh, I watched The Night Of, like, it's pretty good. Oh, and by the way, Bodie's in it. And I was
did
like,
you tell him
oh,
that
sweet.
Omar Little's in it later too?
Yeah, he told me that after the fact.
Yeah, I looked it up on IMDb to look at somebody I don't remember, and I saw he was in it. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, so we're going to discuss episode 1 today. But
Yes, episode 1.
I've watched through...
It's called The Beach, right?
Yeah, I've watched through 3.
Yeah, I plan on watching maybe 2 and 3 like tonight or tomorrow.
He's only watched 1.
Abby's fucking watched 2. She's already ahead of me.
How many
and
have
she
been
just fucking
on
started
so
last
far?
night.
Three? Okay.
Yeah, the newest one comes out Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to do as much of these to get caught up as we can?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you work this weekend? Are you morning shift or night shift?
Morning.
Okay. Because I maybe I can come over if you're available like Saturday evening or afternoon or something.
Sure. That'd be cool. Yeah.
And maybe we can like knock them, like try to knock both of them out, and then that way like Monday or Tuesday I can come over and we can do 4 and we're caught up.
You could maybe even do like, if we've all seen it, we could do a special one where you do 2 episodes in one. You know.
Yeah.
Just blending. Yeah.
What I wanted to do, and it's a little late now, but I wanted to see if we could just put the iPad there, put it on mute, and let the episode run while we're talking.
Well, that might be
Maybe it'll
neat.
jog our memory as things, you know.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, we just watched it like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, we just watched a couple hours ago because that was the first time for me.
I kind of watched it last night. I was like in and out of sleep, so.
Yeah.
But I did watch it again.
All right, so do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's roll.
So, okay, so it starts off with the show's Nas. That's the main character, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pakistani American or whatever.
Yeah,
You asked me if he was purple or cherry.
that's true because the energy drink Nas.
Oh right. I think of rapper Nas when I hear that, but
Yeah, well, I was drinking a Nas.
I got you.
I bought one at Walmart. It was great.
Okay. Plug in Walmart.
So it shows him in school.
Yep.
You know, in a math class that was not an easy math class.
No, yeah, it was like trigonometry meets aerodynamics or something.
Yeah, and then it shows him like soon after he's a tutor on the basketball team.
Yep. So he's in college, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't really say, but I just kind of assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed he was a tutor.
Yeah, but I think he means college.
No, but he's like in college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that seemed a bit.
Well, because like originally when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm like, I assumed he was in high school, and then later on you find he does things, and it's like, wait, he can't be in high school.
Oh, see, I never at any point thought he was in high school.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Just I don't know.
So, no, he seemed too old.
Yeah.
Well, plus it seemed like a junior college or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially wasn't he in like the gym was huge.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some 5A schools out here that have a fucking huge gym
Also,
too.
like in like TV shows and movies and stuff like that, when they show high schools, they always exaggerate how big everything is too. They make it. It's always like a lot nicer than normal schools are.
So yeah, so they show he's a tutor, a good student, obviously if he's a tutor.
Right.
And then he gets invited to a party with the basketball team.
Yeah.
Right.
Who the guy who's tutoring wasn't too keen on.
No, he wasn't very nice about it.
Yeah, he's like, "You invited my tutor?" It's like, what?
No. I was just saying, like, when you look this way, I can hardly hear you. So just look that way.
Okay. Okay, so. Anyways, where were we?
You met my tutor.
Yeah, the one guy said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to party tonight at my ex-fiance's house.
Yeah.
55 Jump Street, whatever. Obviously, you didn't say Jump Street, but and the guy was like, "You invited my tutor?"
And he's like, "Did he say XY?"
Yeah.
Oh, ex-fiance?
Yeah.
So he wanted to go a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure he wanted to go a lot.
Well, you can tell. You can already tell that he's like, I don't want to say nerdy, but
he's a very shy person.
Yeah, he's like very quiet. I don't know about naive. I mean, you find out later, yes, for sure. But yeah, like you can tell he just doesn't get out. And I think some of that might have to do with his culture and like his parents and stuff. Yeah. So, like,
well, especially because
and he's big into basketball, as you can tell. The next scene, they go to the dinner table. Well, not next scene, but they're talking at the dinner table and they're talking about Carmelo Anthony and Marcus Stoudemire and stuff like that. So you can tell he's big into basketball. So he's probably not good enough to play on the team, and he just wants to try to like feel accepted.
Yeah, I can see
from them and be a part of it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And back to like the culture thing, like I can see it because later on when he's talking to his mom, like he's saying he's gonna go to a party. She's like, "Oh, I don't like you going out to stuff like that."
Right.
Like, she didn't want that. So
and he's like, "What, blacks?"
Yeah. You can tell like they don't want him going out and doing stuff like that.
Right, and you can tell they're a close knit family too, because when they leave the school, the dad picks him up.
Yeah, well, and then they go to the store. Yeah.
They go and get the mom on the way home.
And like
then they all eat dinner together.
Yeah.
The brothers are talking basketball, so they're a close knit family. So I think that's another thing. That's probably the culture too, but it's like he's not going out and doing crazy things. He's a family.
Yeah,
kid.
and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Yeah,
I took it.
I don't think anyone was saying that was.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like I took it like you said, like it's just they wanted him to focus on studies more than
going out and partying.
Than like
doing stuff
having
like that.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. So
is it then he gets a call from his friend saying like he can't go or can't.
Well, yeah.
go
So
or
he
whatever.
goes. He's outside waiting for his friend to call.
Yeah.
And his friend backs out on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which
maybe he should have backed out too.
Yeah, maybe. Well, or maybe not. Maybe he just went to the fucking party. But so
he tried.
So his friend backs out. So he just steals his dad's
taxi.
Taxi.
Pretty ballsy move.
Yeah, doesn't know how to turn off the light either. Which...
That was not a good move.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I've never driven a taxi. I don't know, but how hard could it be?
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean? Like,
you think that'd be like the
how
first
hard
thing you try to do
would
too.
it be? I'm sure it's like a little switch or something on the dash.
Where is it?
Well, he said he's never driven a taxi.
Where's the switch?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, it can't be that hard, though.
And if your dad...
No, I know that. I'm asking you where the switch is.
I couldn't tell you because
I
I've
don't
never
think,
driven a taxi.
That's my point. Neither could he.
Yeah, but what we're saying, too... Well, plus, his dad's a taxi driver, so obviously he's been in the car before, most likely. So you think he'd know a little bit about what a taxi is like inside.
But see, at this point, I don't think he cares. He's just worried about getting to this party at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, that...
Well, he didn't even think of it.
I think that... Right.
Yeah.
That'd be the
and then he, like, hangs his head out the window. He, like, hangs his head out the window while he's driving.
He tries to look when he's
and
driving.
he's, like, looking. I'm like, dude, that's not a smart move, buddy. Like, fucking stop the car, get out.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, if you figure anytime he's in his dad's cab, that light's off, so he's not like his dad's going, oh, here you go, here's the switch, I'm going to turn it off.
Right, no.
So he just doesn't have an idea.
Well,
he's never probably driven it.
True.
He's probably not even supposed to drive it.
I'm sure he's not supposed to drive it. I mean, I would think not. Because, I mean, insurances and all that shit, like...
Well, especially because if his dad owns it with other people.
Yeah.
Because his dad owns, like, 2/3 of it or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like that should have been the first thing he did was try to get the light off the second he got in there.
I mean, I wouldn't drive it.
Or at least once he was made aware of it. I mean, not necessarily when he first got in, because I probably wouldn't have thought of that if I was... You know what I mean? But, like... The first person he drives by is like, fuck you, asshole, turn your fucking light off. Like, or you turn your light on. I'm like, okay, I should probably stop, fucking turn the interior dome light on and fucking figure this out. Like,
and that's when two people get in the car.
Yeah.
No, but
seriously, that's
I
what
know.
happened.
Yeah,
I know.
So
and he kicks them out, and then...
Well, the police
he tried.
he tries to kick him out, and then the police help him.
And the cops
Which is
rolled
pretty
up.
funny. They're like, yeah, take us to wherever, and he's like, no, you don't understand. You got to get out. And they're like, fuck you, take us to.
Yeah.
Which you'd be the same way. You get in a taxi cab, and the guy.
Well, especially in New York. I mean,
yeah, the guy's like, no, I can't take you anywhere.
Where, I don't know, 85% of the people travel in taxis. I mean,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's big. big deal. And
Yeah.
Plus, on top of it, he doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah, he has
He's
no
lost.
idea.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so there's a lot of factors. But yeah, so the police pull up and tell basically the guys to get out. They're going to take him downtown.
And the guy's like, I could use some overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Hangs the cuffs out the window and shit.
A lot of overtime in New York, apparently.
Yeah.
Guess so.
So then they get out, cop leaves, and then the chick gets in.
Almost immediately after.
Yeah,
like, it's like
right away.
Split second. Like, cops pulled off and she's already in the car. It's like, whoa, where'd you come from?
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange, too.
Maybe she's a ghost.
It's an all-new show now.
Oh, shit. That's good, No, yeah, but she gets in, and he's like, what? Like, you got to get out. Like, can't do anything.
Yeah.
And doesn't she say, well, your light's not off or whatever?
Yeah,
she brings it up. And
he's like, oh, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Something wrong with it. This isn't my cab.
But then he looks in the rearview and sees her.
And decides to take her.
And he's like,
Yeah, she wants to go to the beach.
Yeah, she wanted to go to the beach.
And he's like, well, we're in...
He's like, we're in Manhattan.
So I can take you to a river or something.
Which is odd. I mean, so now he thinks because he's got this hot girl in the back, he's just going to take her to the river, like...
And drop her off. It's the impression I got. He was just going to drop her off at the river or something.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I can take you to the river.
No, then I thought,
I don't think he thought he was just going to drop her off.
I thought he was going to drop her off and go to the party.
Yeah.
But, like,
maybe.
He wanted to take her out because she was pretty.
Yeah,
that's how I thought that was going to go.
Well, because originally when I first watched it, I was like, oh, he's probably going to try to take her to the party. That's what I thought was that.
I thought that was eventually going to happen.
Because they start talking, and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to be going to this party. And then I thought he was going to say, oh, well, do you want to go? But it clearly didn't go that way. But but she's very mysterious.
I already knew they weren't going to the party, so I never thought that.
Right.
So how'd you know that?
Damn Patrick.
Oh, you listen
what
to spoilers?
What a dick.
No, it wasn't a spoiler. But kinda, I guess, because he said they take me to the beach, and then chaos ensues. Basically, is what Dan Patrick said, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I had to watch that, and then I was like, I mean, I guess I just knew the party. The party never entered my mind.
I gotcha.
You know,
but right from the get, she's like very mysterious and like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Almost, I don't even know really what word to describe her as. Like, almost like sad. Like,
yeah,
she's like kind of sad in her own little way. Like,
I think something had just happened to her.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
I could be wrong. That's just a guess on my part, but I think something.
Well, and because like when they stop, when she tells him she's thirsty or whatever, and he stops at a gas station, and buys her a beer. Okay.
Got himself a water too. I believe.
And then he pissed. Yeah. But what was up with the dude in the hearse?
Yeah, that was really weird.
I feel like that guy. The guy when she flicks the cigarette butt.
Yeah,
and he's pumping gas.
Yeah, but he came up and he goes, "Do you want to be my next passenger?"
Yeah, because she flicked the cigarette at him while he's.
Yeah, well,
gas.
if that bitch blows up, he's dead. So she ain't gonna be his passenger.
He's just saying, "Do you have a death wish?"
I know, but he just seemed to, and maybe it's just them trying to throw us off. But like I don't know. There's a couple people like that I got like a. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Because
see, I just figured I think she's.
But see, we look at shows differently, for sure.
She just like flicks it off like I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, because they flashed to inside the thing and it said no smoking.
Yeah.
So I feel she was just trying to take a couple drags, get rid of it before he came back.
See, that's what I thought. I didn't think she was like flicking it at him to be an asshole.
Like I think she was just trying to get rid of it because they flashed into the car and it said no smoking, please. And then she rolls the window up.
Oh, see, what I thought is like she just flicked her cigarette at a dude that's fucking pumping gas. That's not nice.
That part didn't even cross my mind.
But that did cross my mind, like flicking a lit cigarette at a gas station. I mean,
we could go try it, make a forfeit mama video.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
That might be interesting.
Tell you what, you guys do it. I'll film.
Okay.
But
you have to be on scene.
Yeah,
I might zoom.
You can't be across the street.
I'll be a jack.
Wow.
So I maybe I saw the no smoking thing, or maybe I didn't. But
see, he just he had a mysterious aura about him to me as well. Like I said, maybe they're just trying to throw us off.
Maybe he's a ghost too.
Could be.
No, that'd be a good twist. At the end, they're all ghosts.
But
it's like the seventh sense.
At the end of the show, she flicked the cigarette. It goes back to that. The whole gas station blew up, and it's all in his mind.
Yeah, it's just a figment of his imagination.
It's
him.
Never watching another
it's
TV show.
it's him floating to heaven and his all his.
It's like Lost. He was in.
Hey, I ain't watched that show, Turbo.
Like,
damn.
Oh, Purgatory.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking.
Yeah, but yeah, and then,
let me ask you.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Tell me to hold on, motherfucker.
Well, I didn't. I thought you were going to move on. I have one more thing to say about that guy.
Okay, I want to ask you about that guy.
Okay.
Pretend you're him.
Right.
You're pumping gas.
Right.
Some stupid bitch flips her cigarette at you.
I wouldn't say, "Would you want to be my next passenger?" I would be like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you doing? I'm fucking pumping gas. You throw a fucking lit cigarette on the fucking ground."
Okay, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, totally.
I also wouldn't put it out on the cab driver's car because it's not her car.
Well, I think he did that because the window's open. He wanted to do it on her face.
Yeah, but then that'd be rude.
Well, I mean, she's a little rude too. No, I'm just saying. I think you're exaggerating a little bit on what you would really do.
I mean, I guess.
But I think basically that's what he did. He was like, "What the fuck is your problem?"
Right.
Well, maybe,
but see,
maybe he's. I don't know.
You would think that he would be more rude. I mean, not that everyone in New York that's rude is rude, but I mean, from everything I've heard, New Yorkers are like some of the rudest people in the world. So just because that's like the hustle bustle of the city.
That doesn't mean every.
But anyways, like I said, I was doing some research. Okay, I ran across a couple things. Okay, that guy.
Oh God, here we go.
Had a USA flag little pin on his suit.
And
thank you very
much. Why?
So did Obama last night.
But why would a morgue driver be out at 1 a.m. or a hearse driver be out 1 a.m?
Getting gas.
They don't have funerals in the middle of the night.
Well, yeah, but you want to run out of gas. That sucks.
Maybe
maybe
seriously? Early in the morning.
No, I mean, roll with this.
No, but that is a good point.
Like, no, who? Why is a hearse out getting gas at 1 a.m. or whatever time it is, 12 o'clock?
We have no idea what time.
Right. Well, it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, he just left. How middle of the night could have been?
Well, he ate dinner.
They ate dinner and then they flash and it's dark.
So it's
even 8 o'clock.
I don't know what time hearse are supposed to get gas. I guess.
Yeah, but there's no funerals going on probably after, I don't know, 5 o'clock.
Which is probably when you'd want to get gas. You can't have the whole procession come through QT.
Yeah, but it's just one. It's just the hearse driver. That's the only one there.
No, I was making fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's clearly late. It's clearly late at night.
Okay.
No, as weird as his thing is, it does make sense that why would he be getting
like
gas that late?
The thing with the pin
I just don't know when you would get gas. I got gas at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, but you also don't drive a hearse and
and you don't
like that. That's not your job.
Right.
Vehicle.
Like if you were a hearse driver, I doubt you're going to go at 1 o'clock in the morning and get gas. Or if you drove like a.
What if you had to pick up a body?
Do hearses pick up bodies?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think the coroner's van transfers it to the morgue and then
to them, and then they drive.
And then they dress it or whatever. They put the fucking formaldehyde in it. And then do they put formaldehyde in it?
I don't think the drivers do now.
No, the fucking morgue, you jackwagon.
The morgue people.
But and then after the body's been all beautified, then the hearse gets it. Yeah, so it just kind of caught me as like, why the fuck is this guy driving around in the middle of the night? He's like dressed to the nines too. Like, I mean, he was pretty sharp looking, all black suit.
I think
he was like black as night, you know.
He's like, I don't want him to be in the Shoguns. Like, is he a sexy ass?
I think he will come back.
Okay,
that's just my opinion. Thought I'd run it by you guys.
No, I thought he was weird too. I didn't do some research.
I'll tell you what I thought first. Like my first impression, I was like, why'd she flick her cigarette at that limousine driver?
And I thought the same thing actually because we're
really
stupid.
Yeah, I thought it was a limousine, and then I was. This is the first time I watched it. I wasn't into it yet because like nothing's really.
No, yeah.
Yet. And I'm like, this bitch is crazy, flipping her cigarette at a limousine driver. And the limousine driver's all mad at her, and then it kind of pans out. I'm like, oh, that was a hearse. Oh, I get it. It was like if she's dead, he'd be the driver. Yeah, okay. And then,
wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, So, I like I said, I did some research. There's a couple things, key points that I want to bring up to you guys just to kind of bounce them off you.
So. Okay. I think that one's crazy, but...
I don't think that's crazy. I'm with him on that one.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we'll find out. And also, too, going in, you told me about the show. I had not seen the trailer.
I don't know how you could not have seen
I haven't seen the trailer either.
I don't watch...
You've seen it at least 100 times.
That's not true because I don't remember it.
You don't watch Game of Thrones? It's on. I'm sure they have that.
Every fucking week.
I probably have, but it's probably been on the TV while I was on my phone or something.
Yeah, because see, like, I'd never seen the show preview. I don't read the little fucking description of the episodes. I don't want to know shit.
That's exactly what Jerome said before we started watching. I go, you sound like fucking ass.
Well, because we're about to watch it.
It's because it morphs your mind into fucking thinking one thing, and then you end up, and it fucks you.
And I
like going in open-minded.
I didn't want to know your opinion about it really either.
Like, I wanted to talk to you about it all day today, but I was just like, fuck, I have to save it for the pod.
For the pod?
We're talking TV with Nick and Josh.
Coming at you live.
Coming at you live for Video Arizona.
Okay, so...
Next thing,
I didn't think we would spend that much time on the gas station. That's kind of cool.
Well, I did either, but I didn't know it has a theory.
I have
usually
I have a few of them.
You guys should start a new segment with like little music has a theory.
Dude, that would be dope. Let's do it.
Okay, that's the second time he said
can you
dope.
can you drop a beat for me?
He can't say bruh. He can't say dope.
He can say dope. I'd rather have him say dope than bra.
Listen, bro.
Say that shit. Okay.
So, anyways, they get back in the car. Or Dude Man gets back, and Nas gets back in the car. And they start driving.
Dude Man?
Yeah. Dude Man at first. Nasir. Nostradamus. Anyways, so they're driving. All right, were they talking? I'm sure they said some bullshit, right?
Yeah, because
isn't that when she got up into the window thing?
Oh yeah,
because she asked him about the part, or she said something.
Oh yeah, he's missing the party because of him.
One thing I noticed about her, so like she's sitting there looking out the window, not talking, like, and then he's saying stuff, and she's acting like she's not listening, but she heard every word he said because she says, "So whose cab is this?"
Yeah.
And it's my dad's.
Oh, and he even says, "I didn't think you were listening to me."
Yeah, and
she goes, "I don't miss much."
Yeah.
Which she didn't. There's 2 times she did that to him, which I found that kind of interesting. I don't know why. Like,
I think she was listening to him because she wanted someone to be around.
Yeah.
She even says later on that she can't be alone tonight.
Yeah. So
let's not get there yet.
Well, but so then he tells her about the party that he's going to, and that's the reason he took the dad's car. And she goes, "Oh, so when's the party? Is it going now? And you're missing it because of me?" Mm-hmm. And he says, "Yes." That's when she got like closer in. Like I almost like she felt bad that he was missing the party.
I think it was her way of saying, "Don't ditch me. I'm going to act interested in you, so you stay with me."
Oh, maybe I don't.
I think she got in close like that and like came up and was more talkative. So he didn't just assume that, oh, I'm just dropping you off at the river.
Oh, but I think at this point he's already missing the party because he doesn't know where he's at.
I also think that, because like you said, you think something happened to her.
Yes.
I also think that she...
I think
at
so
first
too.
she thought that he was just going to drop her off the river probably too. And she's like, oh, he's missing a party for me? That's, like, nice. And that's why she leaned up, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, she's crazy. I don't know.
Right.
So... What's your problem there, big guy?
I don't know. I hope I left my wallet in my car.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Nick forgot what the show happened next, I guess.
So they show up at the beach, or they show up at the river.
The river, and they're sitting there.
And they're sitting there talking. She still has her beer. They're drinking, and then
they ask about each other's dads, kind of.
Yeah, and she says...
Yeah, he said he had a good dad, and she said, oh, mine was okay. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of get the feeling that her dad is dead or not in her life anymore.
Yeah, at least not around.
Right. Yeah. And then she pulls out ecstasy.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, I'm okay. So then she
he's
takes
like,
it, and he's like,
don't do that.
All right.
Yeah, they pop mollies, right?
He popped something.
I think it was ecstasy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean. I don't know, but
I don't know what it is at all. But
I think the same thing.
I don't think. I think that's different.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they're of the same nature, but I think Molly is just missing one of the letters from the, because like ecstasy is like MBDNA or something like that, And
Molly had a smiley face on it.
Yeah, Molly's just missing. Yeah, it had like a.
It's in the trailer too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Molly's just missing one of those letters. I know that much. I've never taken Molly or ecstasy. Ecstasy.
I thought it was the same thing.
I think they're very similar.
So basically, yeah, they have a little talk, and she says she can't be alone tonight.
Yeah.
Which
she also asked him if he ever wanted to transport away from trouble, which is why I think something happened.
Well, I think something
bad happens here, and you just want to go over there.
Yeah.
That's right before she says I can't be alone tonight.
You know what? Every time she said, because I've watched this 3 times now.
That's good.
Also, do you like the show?
A little bit. So when she says,
some might say you're obsessed, maybe.
She says,
dun, 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 dun.
She says that she wants to transport. I always picture herself like going to the other side of the river.
Wow.
All 3 times.
Like shape-shifting or something?
No, just like...
So you say that, and we're supposed to be like, oh, yeah, but then he says it's a ghost, and it's all weird.
Well, or the what's Jason Statham's going to show up in Transporter?
Wow.
Don't even. No, but I'm with you. I think that something...
Yeah,
I think something happened, and
that's why
I kind of feel like she's being chased or someone is looking for her because I think that's why she says, I can't be alone.
And who else to better protect you than
than
a Pakistani American
guy?
Yeah.
Maybe the Pakistani from
Silicon
Valley. He might be a little better.
And
that dude's funny though.
Yeah.
So then let's get him hopped up on drugs too.
Yeah. No shit.
So that way he can really protect
really,
you.
really drunk.
I don't know if her plan's working out good. So they go back to her place.
We assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she said it was her place.
Right, but right.
And she kicks out her cat, which I thought was very rude. I think the cat did everything.
Fuck the cat. I would have cut the fucking cat's
Okay,
head
that
off.
was the funniest part of the whole show when he walks in and has to take the asthma.
Yeah.
And he's like...
she's like, oh, God. And she's like, what? He's like... takes the whole inhaler.
Okay, so she lets the cat out. Get it, cat out of the bag.
Oh, spread them legs.
But before they come in, you run into Bodie. Or Trevor, I think is his
his
real
name's Trevor in the show.
Him and some dude, they make a little racist comment about forgetting your bombs. What did he call him?
Yeah, he's like...
Muhammad or something like that.
Will you escape Homeland Security?
Yeah.
It was very racially charged.
It was pretty lame, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, what'd you say? And the guy repeated himself. But then, like, when he was walking away,
Well, when
his friend stood there for a while.
And that guy too hit me like the hearse guy
Yeah.
at the gas station.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to.
I'm
with you on this one.
Yeah?
I said to Jerome, I think that's, like, I could be wrong. I've been
So,
wrong many
do you think
times.
he's the murderer?
I think, did she get killed? I'm just kidding.
We maybe forgot to mention spoilers.
What? If they're watching the show, you better
you
fucking
better
know
watch it already.
that
Or
there's
going to
be some spoilers. We love all listeners.
I think that's way, way, way too obvious.
Yeah, I don't think we've met the murderer, so to say.
Oh, we might have met him.
We might have seen him. Who knows? But because Trevor turns around and starts walking, and the other dude is just kind of like staring him down, like, and it was just like, what is that? Like, what is that about?
Yeah, no, yeah, it was odd. It stood out. Seemed way too obvious to me.
Was it me? He kind of looked like Kimbo Slice.
Oh, I don't know who the fuck he looks like.
I can see that a little bit.
I just
kind of looked like Kimbo Slice. Rest in peace, Kimbo.
He's just like staring, like his eyes are gonna pop or something.
Yeah, well, and is he a Muslim? Maybe.
I don't know.
I didn't ask.
Well, obviously, but I mean,
how could you ask me? He's a TV character.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, hey, are you a Muslim?
Well, you'd be like, Mom, talk to TV. Expect them to talk back.
Yeah, I don't even know how that would be relevant if he is.
Well, I mean, because I'm assuming that Pakistani dude Nas is.
Well, yeah, he is for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, maybe he was just like, hey, like, sorry, my fucking dude's a fucking idiot.
That was not the look he was giving him.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it was just a thought that crossed my mind.
He wanted to cut his dick off.
I thought he wanted to anally rape him.
Oh, you thought he was sexually attracted to him?
Yes.
So it's like
I
that.
didn't get
that's
that.
not about sex.
I'm pretty sure.
Nah,
you never know.
I don't think you fucking do in the ass just to hurt him.
Yeah, pretty much.
You do?
I don't.
Is that gonna go in Pleeka Sports?
Yeah. Okay, so they go in the house. He does the inhaler. She puts the cat out.
Well, he didn't do the inhaler. He shows her the inhaler.
No, he does it.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
And then she puts the cat outside.
And the back door is not latched or locked. That's where whoever came in.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, because when he had to leave later, he couldn't go through the front door yet. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because she shuts the back door and it goes ding, and then it kind of bounced back open again.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there's your quick little hitch. Murderer got in through the back door.
Quick little hint.
Saying that other guy wanted to rape him. There you go.
Oh,
that's why he was downstairs, because he couldn't rape him upstairs with a girl.
Yeah,
and then she wanted. It was a team up. She pretended to get him in the house so the other guy could rape him.
No. Anyways, moving on. So they're inside.
They're doing shots.
Tequila,
Coke.
Yeah. Well, and then they start playing the fucking knife game. Just the bitch is whack. Like she was fucking fucked in the head. Something traumatic had to happen recently in her.
Well,
or she just had a shitty life growing up. Like.
Which I don't think is the case, but
like no one in their. I mean, maybe when I was like in my 20s or something.
I mean, I don't know. You do shots of tequila.
Well, they're already on ecstasy.
And ecstasy.
You know, so
yeah, they're fucked up.
Yeah,
very, very fucked up.
So she does the thing and misses, and then she says,
so they take a knife and slam it through their fingers.
Here, it's your turn. And he's like, no.
That's not gonna happen.
And then she calls him out and says, wait, I thought you said you do whatever you're told.
The second time.
Which is kind of a little slap in the face to him.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's also the second.
Hey, little bitch. Like, you fucking told me you fucking do what everybody tells you to do. And you're going to tell me no? And so he does it.
Yeah. Which you would have, too. You'd have been over there pulling your wiener out and stabbing it.
I would have shoved it in her mouth. But so then he does it, and thankfully he misses. And then,
thankfully, yeah.
Well, I mean,
crazy shit would have happened to you.
Oh my God! No, but you know, for whatever. Yeah.
She sticks her palm out.
Yeah, and it's upside down. Like she does this fucking like twisty caca shit.
Twisty caca shit, or just lays her hand down.
Yeah, or she went like that.
No, it wasn't though.
Yeah,
she had the shit like backwards, like she was like this.
Yeah, because she was like kind of up on him.
Yeah, she had it like this. So then he's like, no way, I'm not doing it. No fucking chance in hell. Eat my ass with a spoon. It's not happening. Like
he never said that.
I don't think he's quoting him there.
Go fuck yourself. And he does it.
And
he stabs her, and she doesn't fucking move.
Because she
doesn't
can't feel
flinch.
Shit.
What is this like? I can feel my face when I'm with you.
Or my hands, you know.
Wow. Did he just sing?
Yeah. Does he do that often on this podcast too?
It's not just a podcast, buddy.
Anyways, so then she was like turned on by it. Like she fucking starts making out with him, and
they go bang.
They go in the
like he's bang. Fucking. She's got her bloody hand like on his face and cheek, and she.
I noticed they showed too. I was like, she's going around the house, like she's smearing her.
They're showing her handprint everywhere. Yeah,
like it's on the stairs. On the way
like it was on the stairwell at that little.
I did notice when
they
were banging that she scratched him because they.
Right.
You know, like they let her take pictures or whatever.
I wish we could have seen more of her, but like,
you know, to see her naked.
Yeah.
You know,
make that the thumbnail of the podcast.
Press pause.
See if we can get a nipple.
Yeah, that's why he wants the iPad out here. He wants to see it.
Oh, I get it now.
See if we can get a little nipple slip.
So they go up and bang, and then he wakes up in the kitchen counter.
Yeah, it was
with
in the
glass
kitchen.
Of water
On the bottom floor. There's 3 floors in this thing.
Yeah, the very bottom.
They're in the brown. It's like a brownstone, is what they call these things, where she's living.
So and then like the fridge is open.
Yeah, he pays no mind to that at all.
Well, it's not his fridge.
It doesn't matter.
I would close the fridge when I wake up and
like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's probably still a little fucked up, probably buzzing, maybe you know.
Yeah.
You think?
But I mean, he's laying down. He wakes up. But how did he get downstairs? First of all,
he probably walked.
And he just was like, "Fuck, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a nap."
So what's weird too is like if he was on the bottom,
he's probably
floor,
thirsty.
Like he's on the very bottom floor. He wakes up. The fridge is open behind him. Like he doesn't even look at the fridge. Like he turns around to walk upstairs, walks right by the fridge. Doesn't even look at it.
Wasn't in the script.
Guess not.
But like also, so if he's downstairs. Do you think he was downstairs when the guy came in the house? Or I guess it could have been a girl. I don't know.
Or
when
like
the killer came in the house.
Or did the killer carry him down?
Yeah,
and put his ass in the kitchen.
That's what I'm wondering.
And like sat him in the kitchen table.
Dude,
I don't know,
you never know. Like, you know what I mean?
You'd think if they went
you
upstairs,
can't be too
if
careful.
They went upstairs and banged. You think he'd at least like stay in that bed or something, be up there.
Like at this point, I don't think he did it. I do think there is a slim chance that he did do it.
I think there's more of that night though that they will show again.
I hope so.
I think they'll have to.
Yeah. Well, especially the killer, but I think more of him that we haven't seen because he's fucked up and like he doesn't remember. So like more of that we'll see later on too. I think.
Hopefully, like the killer's perspective or something.
Yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
Like he'll be hiding around the corner.
So
and
right
like
here,
stumbling down the stairs.
So right here, right now,
yeah.
do you think he did it?
No.
I think it'd be interesting if at the end they say he did do it,
and then he gets off. That'd be awesome.
I think it'd be very interesting if he did, but I don't think he did.
Okay, because see, the way I view it is like it would almost be too simple if like he did it. You know? What I mean?
Definitely.
Like, how do you tell a story? Because see, I don't know what direction they're going to go in.
I mean, they're already in the
No, I know, but what I'm saying is I don't know where they're going to go from here because I haven't.
The story
I've seen about half of the second episode, but I don't know what direction they're going to go because I feel like there's like 10 different ways they could go with this mini series. Like, is it going to be about like racism against Muslims? Is it going to be, more about this lawyer who's a bum nobody that turns into like get this kid off, or you know what I mean? Like, is there going to be another murderer?
I'm hoping the answer to all those is yes.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what way they're going to go.
Oh yeah, obviously.
So
it's very interesting.
I think if we knew where they were going with it, it wouldn't be as good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, and that's why I don't like to watch trailers. Not that they give much away.
Yeah, trailers are bullshit. I mean,
I don't like for next on shows. I don't like to watch that.
It's just bullshit. It just shows you they try to lead you one way.
Yeah, it's mostly lies.
Yeah,
90% of the time.
Yeah,
it's either lies or you're like, oh, now I know that's gonna happen.
They used to do that in Game of Thrones back when I was ahead of the game.
Oh, when you were reading the books.
Like they would show stuff, and I'd be like,
nope.
And then I would talk to other people. They go, oh, you know what's gonna happen next week? This and this and this. I'm like, that shit's not gonna happen. Like they're just leading you that way. So,
yeah.
But
well, that's how they keep you watching.
They try to get you to watch. Yeah.
Because they're like, dude, they're throwing me curveballs.
See, but then people like us, like that, don't want to watch it. We're gonna watch it anyway. So that's part of the reason we don't want to watch it. Like if we weren't that invested, we might watch it next time and be like, oh, maybe this will make me want to watch it.
I still like to watch it. I just don't believe what I see all the time.
Right. No, I get you. So he's walking upstairs. He goes to the first floor. Then they cut and they show this deer head on the wall.
They show that a lot.
And it looked like it had like some blood on like dripping down its eye.
Does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
I
okay.
think they show that a couple times.
They do, but
they show
I don't
once
remember seeing it
on the
like
way
the
up
blood.
when they're gonna go have sex, they show it once then and it looks fine.
Oh, okay.
And then they show it again and it looks like there's blood like on its cheek or something.
Well, it was crying.
Yeah. It was like the Virgin Mary.
Blood, yeah.
The deer's like the Virgin Mary or
Could be,
Mother Guatemala.
Maybe the
or
deer
whatever.
did it.
It's the Virgin Bambi.
Yeah. So he's looking around. So he goes up to the top floor, goes in the room. He grabs his clothes and he's like, "Hey, it's getting late. I gotta go. I gotta get home." Like he's talking to her, like
she's not dead.
Yeah, yeah. And then she doesn't say anything.
You know what I was thinking to myself? Oh my God! Turn the fucking light on.
Yeah.
Because you can see the blood on the lamp even in the dark.
I know.
Turns it on.
So then he turns it on.
Sees her body.
And he turns it right back off.
Yeah, that was.
It was pretty gruesome. Whoever did this, like they had some issues too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because it was like
multiple stabbings.
Some fucking psycho shit right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Norman Bates.
So then, what does he do? Runs to
Runs.
his taxi.
But I mean, what would you do? Honestly?
Not run to my fucking taxi.
You can sit here right now and tell me that you would not run.
I wouldn't leave. No.
You would call the cops.
Yeah, and explain. I'd try
and
to
say,
everything.
"Hey, I'm in this bitch's house. She's fucking stabbed about 250 times.
Okay, but
my blood and shit is all over. Oh, and by the way, my fucking DNA is inside of her as I just fucked her.
Yes.
You're going to call the
Yes,
cops?
because that's better than what he does when he runs away.
Yeah, but that's
breaks
natural.
ba-
It's
he
natural
breaks-
instinct
He breaks
to
back
take off.
in, though.
Doesn't make it right.
Steals the knife.
doesn't make it right.
Takes everything with him and still gets grabbed. Like
Everything
it's
he
worse.
took, I can understand except the cocaine. I don't know why he took the cocaine. I don't get taking the cocaine.
Maybe he
Taking
liked
the
it.
knife, I can understand because he handled it. So his
He handled
finger,
everything in there. It
not the
didn't matter.
cocaine.
That's true.
She
She
poured
had
the
it- she had
cocaine
it
on
put it
her hand and stuck
What
it
about the
up
shot
to his
glasses?
nose. True.
What about everything he touched that they
Well, but
showed on the way out?
But he's fucked either way.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was.
But I think
I would not have ran
calling
out.
them right off the bat.
Now,
think is the
I
best thing
didn't
to
say
do.
I would call the cops. I might leave a little
Calmly?
a little more discreetly. I wouldn't. Okay,
But I mean, you got to think of it from his angle, from what we know about him. He's probably a straight A student. Okay. He's never done anything like this in his life. This is the
never
second
sliced a
girl he's ever slept with, as to what he says.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of the night. He has no idea where he's at, and he has his father's taxi, and he just finds the girl that he just had sex with slashed up like fucking roast beef.
with the knife he just cut her with.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would fucking be panicked.
No, definitely. I think everybody.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying. It's not necessarily right what he did, and it's not right to whatever. But I mean, I would be like, "What the fuck?" You know, like
Everybody would be, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
My point is, you don't run out of a
I get-
scene
I
like
get
that,
you.
whether you're guilty or not.
oh, I get you.
You got to think in your head. Okay,
Yeah,
what-
but
if
you're not
anybody
thinking
sees
though at that
this,
point
yeah.
though.
uh,
You're really not. You're not thinking straight. And don't forget, they just did coke and fucking ecstasy and fucking took shots.
That's
So he's
true,
still
too, yeah.
probably not thinking fully coherently.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously, he already did it. I'm not saying
Right.
It's just as easy for you to say that that everyone would do it as for me to say you shouldn't.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying.
But I just don't think it's not going to help you. Your shit's all still there.
Well, a lot of shit he does doesn't help him.
Well,
he talks to the
Nothing he did
a lot of
helped
stuff
him.
he does
right.
makes
He
the
talks to the
situation a lot
cops.
worse.
Yeah. Everything he
You
did
know what I
made it
mean?
worse.
Right.
So he runs out.
That's
to
why
the
I
taxi.
say he's very naive,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like the cops and stuff like that, and the
Yeah,
fucking
no one's doubting that.
right. So I mean,
So he runs out to the taxi.
doesn't have his keys.
Okay, so that's kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
So then he runs back to the house.
But did you notice there was a ticket on the taxi?
I don't know if that was a ticket. There was.
It was. He was
Yeah, I
parked in
think-
front of a
think-
fucking
yeah.
fire hydrant.
Okay.
It was a ticket. It
I
was-
saw something on the.
Yeah.
I
think
could
it was
only
a ticket,
assume it
too.
was a ticket because like when
I
they
thought it was
got
a flyer.
when they pulled up
I thought it was a flyer.
when they first got there, they panned back and there's a fire like a fire hydrant right there.
I thought.
So I
assumed
was
it
just
a
like,
ticket, too.
that-
I mean,
it
who
has
cares
to
if you get
be.
a ticket? It's not your car.
Yeah, but that shows that he was at that house. Like
That's-
it's just
that-
one more thing that's
what
going
I thought,
against
too, 'cause I
him.
thought if he drives away, I thought that's how they're going to get him.
Like
because they
even
were
if he
gonna say,
got
"Oh, there's a
away,
taxi
like
right
oh
here."
hey,
No, I got you, but
like-
you don't worry about getting a ticket and you're in someone else.
no.
Well, no, I know he wasn't worried, but I was thinking, oh, well, now they know that
Like
he was there or
someone was
something.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, shit's just piling up against him from this point forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the stuff he hands to him. So, as I was saying, so when he
So then he has
He
to
runs
break
back-
in.
he broke into a murder scene.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot.
No.
I mean, break in. I mean,
Yeah.
cuts himself as he
I
goes
know.
in case his blood wasn't
Should
there
have been as
already.
smart as the killer and just went in the back door.
Yeah, fucking go fed the cat, and he'd have been all right.
Still
So goes up there, grabs the knife,
And the
grabs
neighbor
coat,
sees and hears
hears
the
it,
because he ran.
Here's a glass being
then
broken.
watch him run to the taxi.
Yeah.
So it,
Would you think that? I mean, I don't know, but I probably would have went out front and been like, "What the fuck's going on?" I mean, I don't know, but
Well,
No?
I feel like that.
I go out front all the time when I hear shit. So
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I would have been ran out front and been like, "What the fuck's going on?"
some
Like,
old guy in New York.
Yeah, well, especially if you see the guy breaking
and
into
you can
another
tell it's like a-
person's house.
he called the cops. I mean, fuck.
it's a nice
Yeah.
house, like that area, because they even mention it. Like, this is a nice area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but that doesn't mean people are involved either.
no, I completely agree with that. Typically, people are less involved. I feel like in more fancier neighborhoods. So
then he gets in the taxi finally,
mm-hmm.
and then almost hits the car coming down the street.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get an accident right there.
Boom.
I mean, and like you said, his state of mind is fucked up.
Yeah, he's clear, his mind's racing 1,000 miles a minute.
All he wants to do is get home.
Yeah, he just wants to go home. He wants to go to bed. Like he wants to forget about it.
Say he didn't forget his keys. Say he didn't, do all this stuff. They would have just got him in the morning. The story wouldn't be as good,
right?
But they would have just picked his ass up in the morning,
right?
Definitely,
they would have been there.
So he almost hits a car.
They might have arrested the dad.
And then he's at the stoplight.
That might be interesting.
And then he's at the stoplight, and then there's the guy on the motorcycle.
Yeah,
the guy just keeps staring.
And the dude is like freaking out, like, what the fuck is this guy like?
That's that Edgar Allan Poe shit to me.
Like he's just
where
like
you feel guilty.
Yeah.
And like that guy, because the guy looks and you can't even really tell.
Yeah. Well, because he's got the black mask.
But like you're supposed to think, oh, he knows like he killed somebody. At least that's what he's thinking.
Oh yeah. So then he grabs the knife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But really, like I was probably just looking at him.
Probably like, yeah, what's this asshole?
Maybe he plays a role though. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
we don't. At this point, we don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, of course not. But I mean. If you say every single person that shows up plays a role, eventually I guess you'd be right, but you also will be wrong a lot.
We've done that for 3 out of like the hundreds of characters of the show, though.
No, yeah, you're right.
Because I mean, just because I don't know, like if I'm in a car, I'm not like staring over multiple times at a car unless it's like a hot chick or something. Then I would probably be looking over.
Yeah, if it's that black guy driving a hearse, you're looking a lot.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey.
He's like, wait, hold on, let me get a cigarette, flicking at him.
Hey,
he's like licking his lips.
Want to pull that BBC out?
He's like, I'll be your next passenger, baby.
But, so I mean, like, it just kind of makes me think, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But anyways, so he makes the illegal turn. I mean, cops pull him over.
Pulled over right away.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine
the first
what
time
he feels.
When you watch this the first time, which you today, like, can you believe all the shit that he's doing wrong?
Yeah.
It's just like, to me, I was just like watching.
Mostly because the state of mind he's in, like it has
to be.
He's in a rush, so he's just doing so many.
He's
stupid
sloppy.
Things.
I mean, he's.
If he would just,
that's the way I
down for a second, I think he would make a little bit better.
If he had a Xanax, it would have helped him a lot.
We already told him that. We've already established that he's smart.
Yeah, well, because he was nervous with her, so I can only imagine how nervous he is when he's on all these drugs and he's drunk, and then he finds her dead. Like he's even more nervous now.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's just freaking out even more.
Well, so you didn't.
And now he's running.
So I mean, so you were just like, oh yeah, he's making a mistake. Like,
well, I didn't.
See, I thought it was crazy.
But it's crazy.
It's like, oh my god, he get away, but now he's getting pulled over by the cops. Are you kidding me? What's the worst that could happen?
But don't get me wrong. But then when I thought originally they were gonna let him go. When they got the other call, I was like,
oh I did too. Because they said
he's going home. He's going home.
And then he was gonna be like, oh, I'm free.
And then they're like, leave the car. You're good. I'm like, what the fuck? Who does that?
Nobody.
See, I thought.
I'm like, no way.
Get in the back, but we're not even gonna put cuffs on you because you're such a little.
Yeah,
pussy.
he seems harmless.
Which he does.
I would have been like, can I just walk home, please?
I thought because they're gonna be like, oh, it's your lucky day, you're free, and then he's gonna go home, and then it's gonna cut to in the morning, the cops arresting him.
They got a murder call for crying out loud.
No, they did not.
No, they got.
They got a call of a break-in.
And then
it's
still
that's what they don't take him on a
But you know what I thought too? It was stupid on his part. It just shows how much he's freaking out again. So while they're looking at the house, he's trying to
get out
the car,
which
that's just gonna make him look for him even more.
Right. Well, yeah, he tried to save a couple of times.
Yeah. He really wanted to
But
leave
I mean,
the station.
I feel like that's instincts too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I thought about that too. I would leave, and I'm like, oh no, they're just gonna look for you more. Like,
right, and I don't think you can open the back of a cop car from the inside.
No,
like even if the car's unlocked.
Not you're Preacher.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't get it, but
there's a show called Preacher.
I know. I figured it's some Flash or fucking Arrow or
no, it's Preacher
or Preacher.
Preacher. Yeah.
You don't know what Preacher is?
I don't.
We could do Talking Preacher with Nick and Josh.
No, we're not.
No, actually, there's only been a couple episodes on AMC right before.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was like a fucking cartoon or some shit.
No. It's got Seth Rogen is like a producer, and he directed the first episode too.
Good for him. Good for Seth.
It's a really good show though. But so they pull up to the house. I guess her place.
Yeah. So
and they're waiting.
The female black cop was like way by the books, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like her
she's-
partner was just like, let him go, like just get him out of here, and she's like,
Yeah.
no, like. So I feel like she's like a straight cop. Not to say that her partner is a crooked cop, but
she knows that
she's
we're
like,
supposed to take
we're
him in
doing
no
this
matter
by the
what.
books. Like
I think she's also.
he
his
looks
his
faded.
boss.
he
Oh,
looks
really?
drunk.
Yeah, I think she was in charge of the two. So
Yeah.
like she's.
But it just stood out to me that she was like by the book, like
Yeah,
letter of
yeah,
the
I thought it
law,
was
like
anything.
no chance in hell that she's a crooked cop.
Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah.
Wait,
Has to get freaky with his mic.
riding up, baby, riding up.
Fucking retarded.
Yep, that's me.
So yeah, so after they pull him on to take him to the scene of the crime, basically, the old guy comes out and says, "Yeah, right over here." So now he never saw the old guy, but the old guy saw
No,
him.
yeah.
And they make eye
luckily
contact.
for him,
Well, yeah,
not too lucky because he still gets caught anyways. But the guy
the
didn't get a good
Nas
look at him.
doesn't know about that guy, and the guy doesn't know that was Nas who broke in.
Yeah,
Nas doesn't know what that guy saw.
Right,
yeah.
but he doesn't know that guy saw him. He has no idea.
He just knows that guy's a witness of something.
He just
Or
knows the
what
guy is
happened
there, and because he's talking to cops.
Yeah, he's a neighbor, and he's pointing to the fucking house that he just left,
Yeah.
saying, "I heard shit up there." So that's why he's freaking out because he.
Well, no, he didn't hear anything up there. He heard the guy break in to the door.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just because there's a little stoop. That's all I meant up
okay.
there. I think that makes it worse that he doesn't know what he's saying. to
Well,
the
he's
cops.
probably terrified of that, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking, but like, you have to think that like he couldn't have got that great of a look at you. I think, but like he doesn't know that obviously.
Yeah. No, I think that's what made it. That's what made it like drama. Is because he doesn't know. So you're thinking like.
Yeah, and like that guy's trying to look like, oh, why is he here?
Yeah,
Like,
and all he's
everybody wonders that every
Well,
time
at
someone comes
at
up.
this point, his mind is just racing.
Yeah,
He's
but-
got a million different scenarios going through his head,
Well, and also, but
thinking, I'm going to jail,
Well,
I'm fucked,
He's
like,
thinking,
I'm
going
to be
to
blamed
jail,
for this.
My dad's taxi's lost in the middle of the
I mean,
thing, my
because,
parents
and then
worried
you
about
find
me,
out that
everything.
his dad shares that taxi with two other guys.
So
Like,
he's fucking over two other guys
so
too
he's
now.
not just fucking over his dad, he's fucking over his dad's friends and business partners. So, I mean, I'm sure that he just feels terrible.
he probably doesn't give a fuck about that. He's probably worried about going to jail for the murder.
No, I think he's worried about everything. All
Yeah,
that
it's
together is
Oh,
freaking him out.
it's just a snowball. It's just an avalanche at this point, in my opinion, in his mind. I mean, you know, because I mean, I'm sure when you were younger, you probably got into some trouble. Obviously, you've never been accused of murdering somebody, but
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean,
maybe you did and you got away with it.
you know,
wanna share a
but I
story on
mean,
here?
you've ever gotten in trouble with
Yes.
the law?
maybe.
I don't know, but I mean,
What's he trying to say?
I think he's trying to say you're a criminal.
yeah, back in the day with what was his name, Pippi Longstocking from Baltimore or whatever.
The fuck's he talking about?
The guy you told me about, your homeboy who got you into St. Ides,
Oh, I never got in trouble with Blue.
Blue Bloods or whatever.
Blue.
He's
He's
a
just
guy
making
named
shit.
Blue.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of name's Blue?
He had blue tennis shoes. Playing
Yeah.
basketball.
So you. Can
But
name him
anyways, so
Blue?
I mean, I just like
Well, I didn't name him.
if you've ever gotten in trouble,
Yes.
your mind is just like, what, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you have no idea. Like, and you
Yeah.
hear stories about prison and jail, and he's a Pakistani American. So I mean, this is 2014, so there's a lot of shit going on. He's a Muslim. He's going to prison.
He does not know he's going to prison yet.
Well,
Yeah,
he's only assuming he's going to. He's sitting in the back of a cop car.
and they're
Wh-
looking.
while they're looking inside the house.
Yeah,
that he
while they're
just
looking
found
in a
someone
house
dead
where the
in.
bitch is dead that he just fucked.
Yeah, but he also didn't do it in his mind, so I don't know that he's.
I think part of him worries that he did and he was so fucked up.
Maybe.
I think because he even says later on, which he could be lying to the cops, but he says he doesn't remember later on too.
Well,
So I
there's
think
no fucking way he
I think-
remembers.
No.
because he was so messed up, I think part of him.
We
thinks he
should
might have
try.
done
Let's pop ecstasy,
that. Uh-huh.
and then have like 3 tequila shots, and each do like a line of cocaine, and see
And then do this
if we can
podcast.
remember what we did after we did all those.
Okay, but I get to stab you.
And
in the
then
hand.
wait,
No, no,
let's
no.
get a taxi. We'll pick up a girl, take
No
her to a river,
stabbing
and
in
if
a
she ends up dead, we did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Next podcast,
All
we'll
right.
tell you guys how that happened.
I mean,
it would be interesting to try. Don't get me wrong.
the stuff in the getting in the back of a police car and going to jail. I mean, you could freak out. A lot of times, you just want to get that shit over with.
Yeah,
I guess.
think part of him probably does. Part wants to just them
It's
to
just-
book him, get him home or whatever. Like
Yeah, like
do
take me to
the stuff they need
jail.
to do.
Fucking figure this out later. I don't know.
Well, and the other thing is, and you don't know at the time right now, he has a fucking cell phone in his goddamn pocket.
Yeah.
He's not in handcuffs.
Which
I
called his
got
parents.
something to say
Or
about that
somebody.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ with you.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Or at least fucking play some Bejeweled or fucking Candy Crush or
later.
something to pass the time.
Candy Crush.
I mean,
Did he?
for fuck's sake.
Did he just say Bejeweled?
Yeah.
Wow.
We never played Bejeweled?
Nope.
Nope. I mean, play some Counter-Strike or
Or maybe watch a Pleeka video or something.
yeah,
you go.
hop on YouTube.
A little
Fuck.
Pleeka or Fort Mafia, whatever.
Yeah.
That'd just be me.
We could
Or
watch,
Pleeka
We
Sports.
could watch Has Played Beach Buggy. You think he's me?
Yeah.
Suck a fucking chode, bitch.
That's the funniest thing you've ever.
Yeah, that was good. That was classic.
Done.
That was classic.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously he's freaking out too. He doesn't know what's going on. A couple other cops show up, ask why the fuck he's in the back of. Does he get
Well, the
breakfast?
detective shows up, right? And he's
No,
like,
not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
So
And did you catch when the van pulls up? They're like bumping like
Yeah, I thought
rap
that was
music.
weird, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
I mean, I clearly don't think that HBO was like, oh, this is gonna make people. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did, but yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's odd. Like, who pulls up to a crime scene bumping fucking Jay-Z or
I thought
whatever?
it was definitely different, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
You know?
I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
I've seen those videos where cops are fucking singing going down the fucking highway. So.
Oh yeah, but that's, you know.
Well, just whatever music you like when you listen.
We are family.
No, that would have been better if they pulled up to that.
I did love it when he sings.
Really?
Hi.
So, anyways, what I was
Hello.
trying to say. Is,
Hello,
So
darling.
the other cops show up.
Right.
They wonder why he's in the back seat.
Correct.
And then they go investigate the scene.
Right. And they're like opening doors with glove, like the front door.
Yeah, like they're cops or something.
It's like they're doesn't want to get their fucking fingerprints all over
that's
shit.
weird. So they go up there, and then the one cop comes out and almost throws up. That would be you if we were like.
Oh,
playing
God,
people in a
yes.
row.
No, I don't think I throw up at that. I don't throw up at blood.
Are you kidding? If
Come
you
on.
saw that,
When I cut my head up when I didn't throw up,
yeah,
That's
but you
before you
can't
got to-
see it.
I saw all the blood in my
You
hands
can't
and all
see
over the
it,
floor.
though.
Yeah, but that was before you started being a little
Jerome.
pussy about
That's
stuff.
true. I don't think I would throw up from blood or anything like that.
What if you had to drink it?
Oh, then I'd be thrown up all over the place.
You almost gagged now.
You wouldn't even have to drink it.
No,
He would just say, "Here, you have to drink this," and
Yeah.
you'd yak all
No,
over.
there was like an octopus on her floor or something. Now maybe I'd throw up.
Wow.
Oh, he loves testicles. Pin testicles.
You would love to go into a Detroit Red Wing game.
Yeah, they throw octopus on
They
the
throw octopus
Really?
on the ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. At least no one has to eat it. I'm fine with that.
You know how they
It's
get?
like it's like
you
the
know how they
biggest
get 'em
bubble
into
of
the game?
snot.
How?
They shove them down their pants
Oh.
because they don't allow them to bring them in,
Mhm.
so that you have to sneak them in. So they just shove. Can you imagine that?
That'd
A
be real
cold
slimy.
octopus, and you shove it down
What
your
if it's not
shit.
dead and it starts sucking your?
You're sucking your wiener.
Yeah, it's like with his tentacles.
And then you're sitting there
its
watching the
tentacles
hockey
going around
game.
Your testicle,
Just take it off. It just rips your dick off.
Mm.
and then you throw it. You're like, son of a bitch.
And it's
you have
like-
to go retrieve
You
it.
throw, you see slow motion, your dick just flying into the ring.
Wow. Anyways, we train wrecked.
with,
So-
with octopus and dicks.
So then,
Oh, that should be the next name of our podcast.
Jesus
Octopus
Christ.
and dicks.
moving on.
Yeah, so they investigate. So then they have to call down and get like a team to investigate.
Right. They call down to whoever
It's Night Watch.
the dude's like, "Can this wait till the morning?"
No,
He's
like,
like watching
no.
the Discovery Channel or
Yeah,
some
it's
shit.
like Shark Week or something.
Yeah, and so he's like taking all the notes, and he's like stabbing, whatever, blah blah blah. So and then they call the detective.
Detective.
Yeah, they go talk
Detective Box, is that his
yeah,
name?
they go
Yeah, I
talk
think
to
so.
someone and he calls Box.
Yeah, but I recognize that guy.
Yeah, he's.
I did too. I looked him up. I didn't recognize anything. It's on IMDb, but he looked very familiar to me.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. He's in some shit. Like recently, some good shit too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah. So you get the impression that this guy's done this before. Like he's, because they were saying that it's going to be, like reporters there in the morning or whatever. He would be able
Right,
to,
there's gonna be, what is he, hands on all over the scene or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
He says, he said it's gonna be a, like a photo shoot or something.
Yeah, which means there's going to be
Right,
reporters on the
right.
shoot because of the area and because of
And
what
because
happened,
of the
the brutality.
terribleness of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they call him, and fuck it, what is this, like 2 in the morning at this point, 3 in the morning?
Probably, yeah.
Well, they said that they pulled him over at 0200.
Okay.
So it's
yeah.
after 2 a.m.
Okay.
So it's probably like 3 or 4 in the morning at this point.
Yeah.
Which is why...
It's probably not quite 3 because, I mean...
Which goes back to his thing that the guy was out there getting gassed really late.
No, actually, how long did they bang?
Well, I don't know.
It's
They
probably
didn't-
like
they didn't
11
time-
o'clock. Guy's just getting gas, minding his own business. Bitch throwing cigarettes at him.
I think that's still weird getting gassed at 11 o'clock when you have a hearse.
I just don't find it weird at all. But that's
I
don't know.
do.
He'll probably be the killer, and I'll be like, oh, you guys are right.
Suck a fucking chode, bitches.
So yeah, so then the box dude, Detective Box, comes down to the scene and immediately says, "Who the fuck is this guy? Take him down to the station." So,
Yeah. Well, he said take him to the station and get him out, like, send him home or something.
Yeah, because he doesn't want people at the scene that are gonna fuck up his crime scene.
They
Right.
don't need to be there.
This guy.
Which is... He's true. I mean, he's right. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
No
true.
one
He's
should
very
be there
true.
who doesn't need to fucking... I mean, that's why they set up a perimeter, and they don't just let neighbors and people who live on the street just walk in freely and like,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on up in here?
And also, but all the people in the scene aren't used to like this shit.
Right, but I mean, you know...
So then the 2 cops that pick him up offer to take him back.
And he's like, no.
You're first on scene. You got to stay here. They're at this point. I think they were supposed to go home 2 hours ago or something like
Yeah.
that. So 2 other cops take him back to the police station and just sit him there in the police station.
Well, on the way home, he asked,
Yeah, on
Is
the
she
way
dead?
there, he said, "Is she dead?"
Yeah, when the ambulance.
and they're
comes
like,
out.
yeah, it's safe to assume that. And which it didn't click in their head at the time.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know it was a girl, and how do you know to ask if she's dead?
No, because they thought he was a witness.
True.
Oh,
Yeah, they did.
said,
They did
"What'd
think
you
he was a
He
witness.
said nothing.
Yeah,
But
because he goes, "Some witness you're gonna be."
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That guy was kind of a prick.
I mean, it's true though. What'd you miss? Oh, nothing. Like, oh, well then, why the
Yeah.
hell are you here?
Yeah.
um,
So then they just sit him there, which I thought was weird because I mean he could have just got up and left, don't you think?
yeah. If
I
he
mean,
was-
like,
if he had any balls,
There was nothing. They
He
didn't.
almost did a couple times, and there was nothing
Yeah.
there to stop him.
But
except
was he
for
trying to
himself.
leave? Like you think so?
I thought he was trying
Was
to
he
leave.
gonna take a shit?
Because then people walked in and he stopped and sat
Yeah.
down at that other bench.
Yeah. Because at this point, I mean, they probably have the plate number of the car that he was driving or whatever. But
Right.
other than that, they don't have anything. Like they don't have his
Well, 'cause
name.
They didn't have his name written
They
down.
don't
anything
have
like that.
his ad. Like you know what I mean? So
They didn't- they
I
don't
feel like
write
if he
any
would
of
have
that
just
down
walked
till
out,
later.
he probably could have just been scot free.
Well, not scot free because you already said he got a ticket.
Well, I think.
Oh yeah, I
think,
guess you're right with
if he would
that.
have left, I think because he could have got rid of the knife. That's the only reason they even kept him there later too.
Right, because they
He
were going to
would've-
let him go.
He would have got rid of everything, and then he would have just had to pay for the
Well, yeah.
ticket and for that taking the wrong turn.
Because they were going to get him on reckless driving or DUI. You can't get him on DUI after he sat for
Right,
that
he
long.
sat there for too long because Porn Stash, the guy looks like Porn Stash to me, but
Oh, no, I get that. Yeah.
from Orange.
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
kind of looks like that
I
guy.
haven't watched that. So.
I know, I remember when I said it, but yeah, because he goes, oh, so you didn't breathalyze him? He's been sitting here for fucking 2 hours.
Plus, he was in the car
Like,
forever,
you,
too.
you
Yeah.
can't do it now.
Well, you can, but no one's that fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, actually, he might be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They might have got lucky.
He
when
had
that was stuff.
multiple drugs into his system and alcohol.
Arizona, he could have maybe still got a DUI.
Really?
Yeah, all you need is like a sliver, and they can still give you one.
Oh.
But yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I mean, basically, the rest of the show, he's sitting in the
The
room.
precinct or whatever.
Yeah,
Holding.
Well, so then,
while they're investigating,
so does he
Right.
pull out the knife first, or does he pull out his phone first?
he just doesn't. He looks at the knife, but he pulls out his phone.
He pulls out his
So
phone.
tell him what you figured
Oh,
out.
so
with
But it wasn't nothing. I was like, oh, this is groundbreaking. Well, so he pulls out.
well, first, okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So he pulls out his phone and looks at it, but like, and then the second time his phone.
Well, he calls home.
He called home and hung up.
Yeah.
And it rang a time or
Couple
two,
times,
and then he
and
hangs
then
up.
He hung up.
Yeah.
And then when he pulls it back out, home is calling,
Okay.
and he doesn't answer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's my thing. So
Okay, but the reason I even know that you know this is because the second time I said, does that annoy you? Because no one's going to own a phone and not have a picture on it. So
Well,
that's where I was going with it.
yeah.
So tell him what you said.
Okay,
Notice.
so when he pulled out his phone and he called home,
Yes.
first when he slides to unlock it, it makes that little noise. His volume was up all the way, yeah. And when he closes, it makes the closing sound. And I was like, oh, I wonder, because my thinking was, oh, his volume's on, so Holmes gonna call him back, and everyone there's gonna know he has a cell phone on him, and that might get him in trouble or something. I don't know.
Right.
But so he puts it back in his pocket, goes back over there, and then when he gets a call back, his phone's on vibrate. And I was like, oh, he was supposed to be all the volume on.
Fucking phone shit all the time.
That's weird.
Like we were watching some movie like yesterday or
I
something.
mean, you don't think he could have flipped the switch right before he put it back in?
That's what he said, but I didn't like.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Put it in his pocket.
It's definitely like.
But we were watching a movie the other night.
Could be a little
this
mistake
is
or whatever.
An example of what bugs me. The girl was supposed to be on the phone, and you could just see it says "slide to unlock."
Yeah.
And there's in the background. And
That really gets in.
That just bugs the shit out of me.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Well, but like in the first Ted, Mark Wahlberg's on the phone driving down the street. His phone's upside down.
Wow.
You don't think they'd be like, "Hey, let's do one more. Your phone's upside down."
But
Or,
see,
you know
that's
how
where
to
they
use an
cut.
iPhone.
They use different camera angles, and because I mean, you can go on YouTube right now and fucking look up any goddamn movie and find mistakes.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like
You know what I
something
mean?
like that bugs me, like with the phone. I always catch.
I mean, if I noticed it that it was the phone was like upside down, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like that would probably bother me.
Because like you can see he's on the phone, and then
I could
he
see it.
he pulls it away from his head, and you see like the home button right there. Like, oh well, his phone's upside down. He's an idiot.
That would bother me.
Although he is an idiot in that movie, so technically.
Yeah, maybe he.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'd be able to hear.
I
what
can't
the guy's
hear.
saying
I
on the
can't.
phone.
What are you saying, guy?
So where? Oh yeah, he got a call from home back at the station.
Why do you think he didn't answer it? Was he just too nervous to not like he didn't?
I think so, because I think
like
that's
he
why
was just
hung
like,
up.
"Fuck, I don't know if I'm allowed to have a phone."
Yeah, I think so.
And obviously, I'm sure he didn't want to fucking deal with telling whoever's calling him back. But you don't think you'd text a friend or like his brother or something and be like, "Hey, I'm at the fucking police station. Can you let mom and dad know?"
That's what I thought he was going to do.
I think at this point he still thinks he's going home. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
he's going
guess-
to get off. Because they're not treating him like a murderer. They're treating him
Right,
like
'cause he's-
someone who was
but-
like fucked up, but all right, you're
Right.
harmless. We're going to let you go. So I think he's still counting on that.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
True.
So when they investigate the scene, at one point they call someone in, and he takes pictures of the scene. And when he takes the picture of the girl, he grabs the camera, looks at it, looks at her not through the camera, and kind of makes a face, and then takes the picture. So I don't know if he was doing that because she's like a young, pretty girl, or that it almost like he recognized her.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I didn't notice it the first couple times, but I noticed it when
I noticed that he did that because he did it, and he even like puts the camera down a little bit when he does it.
and
Makes a face,
I was like,
and then just brings it back up and takes a picture. Like maybe like he said she had a trouble
Maybe
youth
he's
or
the
something,
murderer.
or something like maybe she is around cops often or something, and he recognizes her.
yeah, maybe it seemed like he recognized her, and then like I don't even know if they show that guy again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to recognize him unless they put
Yeah.
a camera around him, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was.
Did you catch that?
It.
You know?
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
So basically, they investigate the whole scene. They're doing all that. They bring the other guys to test stuff, and as they're walking out, Trevor shows up again. He's like, "What? Did he kill her?"
Without the other
Without
guy,
that-
without his friend, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what made me think even more like, oh, maybe his friend
which
did it.
which even adds to the mystery of
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely,
role that guy could play in this series.
Mhm.
absolutely, without a doubt,
And then Trevor covers for him.
possibly.
Well, he says, "No, I was by myself."
Yeah.
And
I mean, is
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
because
yeah,
he
yeah.
said he's like, "No, I was by myself." You know.
he? Yeah. When you mean later on when he gets interviewed?
Right.
Yeah. He could be covering himself though too. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I mean, he could just be some drug dealer. He doesn't
So
wanna be a
basically, the Detective Box overhears him talking, asking the cop what happened,
Like,
what's going
yeah, he's
on,
trying to
is
get
she
information.
dead? And he overhears it, and Trevor's like, I'm just playing around, like, no, but for real, what happened? Like, and then the guy, Box comes over,
And then
And he's like-
Box isn't playing that. He's like,
no, and then he's like, so what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, how do you know that? And he's like, know what? And
Yeah, he's like, I saw. There was,
he's like, how about you come with me down to the station? And he's
well, he
like,
said
how
a
about you
couple
just give me
times
your
he saw a
card?
Pakistani guy there too, though. Going there with her there.
No, he said Arab.
Oh, he said Arab.
Yeah, because he kept calling him an Arab. And the guy, remember, because when he shows him the picture, he's like,
Oh yeah, he said it was that
he
Arab.
yeah, he's
you're
like, it's
right.
that Arab or whatever. And he goes, oh, there's just a bunch of Arabs. But I thought it was funny when Detective Box was like, If I were to turn you upside down right now, how much weed would fall out of your pockets? Like
he's
you're
like,
coming to the
oh,
fucking.
God.
You're coming down with me right
Well,
now.
And,
Because Trevor was like, "Just give me your card. I'll call you. I'll call you later."
and isn't he talking about going to get weed when he's leaving with that other guy?
No,
Maybe.
well, he said where they're going, they have a lot of weed and like, says other stuff like that too.
When they're leaving after
Yeah,
they called him.
yeah.
So yeah. So but I just thought I thought that was funny how he was like, "If I were to turn you upside down, how much weed would fall out of your pockets?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he knows. Like, look, dude. Like you're dressed like a gangster. I can probably tell, or I can tell that you smoke weed. So yeah. I'm not going to give you my card, and you're going to come with me right now.
Well,
Yeah.
and if he would have just answered his questions, he wouldn't have had
And from the jump, at least from here, I like Detective Box.
No,
Like
yeah,
I
I
think
do
he's
too.
a little.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Are you just saying that because you've seen other episodes?
Yeah, because see, I'm just talking from right here to the end of this episode.
No, I'm saying it from a defendant perspective.
Okay.
Of course, he's being Mr. Nice Guy.
Well,
Right.
Yeah. He's
'Cause
just
he
trying
wants
to,
him to
he's
talk.
trying to get
Right. No. Yeah.
obviously.
He's trying to gain his trust.
But also, we've seen him like at the crime scene. And
I
stuff
don't
like
think
that.
like he's an evil cop or anything.
Right.
I think he's really good at his job.
well,
but that
there's
doesn't-
a reason they call.
But there's not
him.
that doesn't mean that I have to like him.
Right. No. Yeah. I seem to. I don't know. But anyways. So go. Yeah. Let's move on.
I mean, so basically, they take him downtown. Then a couple times it flashes.
Well, and then
back.
they're flashing back, and then that one guy comes in, that white guy. He was like on dust.
Angel Dust. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what? I was like, like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
What is that? Like that was pretty random.
No, yeah, that's right.
I think it's just showing that there's like other shit.
I mean, I
going on,
get
too.
it, but it was like, what? Why show that?
I think
Just
it was
to add to the hour and 15
I think
minutes
it
of this
just
fucking
added
episode.
added the chaos. Like,
You
yeah,
always
more
say
people
shit
there.
like that. I don't know. I didn't write the episode.
Well, obviously, you didn't write the episode. We know that.
But
You
I'm
don't
just
gotta
saying,
say
like
that.
things like that catch my attention. Like why? Like it's probably nothing. It's probably just nothing.
Well, I hope it caught your attention. A guy ran into the fucking thing, screaming. 6 fucking detectives
I know.
jump on him and then pull him out.
But I mean, like, I guess what
I
I'm
think-
kind of saying is, and I don't think this, but a small sliver, like that guy could have been involved in the evening. I mean, we don't know.
I think it was partly in the scene because what's his name? Because Nas was there, so it's just another thing happening at the station and in his night to scare him.
yeah,
Right.
Like
that's
he's
right.
like all these people,
Just to show
because
how
there's
chaotic.
There's that guy
Right.
there. He sees she there too. That one black guy. He looks
Yeah.
like, he's like, "What are you looking at?" Like,
He's
there's
like, what the fuck are you looking
yeah,
at?
there's all
It's
this
just
stuff
shit that can
I think-
happen at a police station
I
on
think
a
it's-
random night.
I think it's
Right.
just another thing there to scare him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it had. I mean, maybe.
It could definitely could. I mean, anything could be it. Especially
Yeah.
because first episode.
But I just think it's something to show how the police stations are fucking nuts sometimes.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, definitely.
I mean, because a lot of times when you see shows and they have police stations, there's usually like some random person that everybody has to tackle.
Yeah.
There's usually something like that happens there, just
Yeah.
to show there's
He
chaos.
grabs the gun and then fucking runs
Yeah,
across.
there's like some kind of chaotic thing that happens like that usually. So I think that was just an example.
Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock jump out a window.
Maybe.
You know,
Try
there's
to
the
land-
other guys.
Yeah, it's the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all I think. I mean I don't know, but like I don't know. It's just not in my DNA, I guess, to ask that kind of question.
I got you.
Like I wasn't worried about how long the show was. I was glad that.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, just something like that, to me, seems like, I don't know.
Well, no, I always get the impression with you, you're like, and I could be completely wrong here, but you're like, wow, this could have been an hour and 14 minutes if they would have took that out.
Well, I mean, it's just some shows have that where they show little stuff, and
I
it's
don't-
just like,
There's always like filler.
Yeah, but I don't think they're like, hey, you know what? We're only an hour and 12. Can we get a guy run in here real quick and we'll throw some angel dust?
well,
on
clearly, I don't think they did
Well,
that.
they-
But I
they
mean,
don't
but
think
that's why it makes me think, like, should this guy be involved in this show?
him? See, I never thought that either.
See,
I
you don't
know.
say that, but a lot of times in stuff they do that. Where like, oh, we let's just add this in the script. This will give us an extra minute or two in the middle. They don't say that obviously after they film it because that'd be stupid. But like
Well, yeah, but
while they're writing the script, they go, oh, we could put this here. One, it's a little bit of filler. Two, it's another example of something that can scare this guy. Like it's just more.
Yeah,
of the scene.
I don't. I mean, I could see them doing it on a show that needs to hit the hour. I don't see them doing it on a show that hits like. Over.
I think they do that every show.
Really.
They have something filler, but it's partly filler, partly extra stuff. I think they do that on everything. Because it's even stuff like that in movies. It's just because it's a little bonus. Like it's like a little bit of filler, a little bit of
Did they put any
next to the
filler in
scene.
Batman versus Superman?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
a lot of stuff.
3 hours.
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm good. Let's roll. Let's move on.
Okay. I don't know where we're at. Roll.
We're at the guy
No,
you were just
we're-
explaining how
yeah.
it wasn't. They didn't write it into the
So,
scene for an
but
extra
basically,
minute.
we just finished, and then they come back to the precinct or whatever. They bring
as
Trevor
he's trying to walk
down,
out,
and then the detective box walks in with, I don't know, another cop,
some other person. But
and
as he's about
then
to walk
and then
out,
the black female cop and the other dude, they're searching him
Oh, yeah.
because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like
So he
basically
already
like,
tried to
we're
escape
gonna
a
let
few
you
times.
go if you have
Yeah.
whatever. So they're searching
Yeah,
him.
so they're searching him.
And
at the
she did
same-
a thorough fucking search
Yeah.
on him. Like, that just adds to the she's by the book. You know what I mean? Because,
I like too that they said like the guys talking about like what happened with
That's
the
what I
other
was gonna
scene.
say.
But then also as they do that, you see him like she takes out his gum, sets it on the counter, and he's like, oh shit. Then takes out like his phone, sets it on
Yeah.
the counter, and then his keys sets on. He's like, oh, it's gonna be the knife one of
Yep.
these times. Like, he's just like freaking
Well,
out.
and at the same time that she's searching him, Detective Box is explaining the murder scene.
to the
And when
the
he
guy
gets,
working
yeah,
behind the
when he
counter.
gets to
yeah.
the knife as she's pulling it
He's
out,
like, we're looking for a murder weapon of 5 to 7 inches.
Yeah, and it
and
just,
she's like pulling it out, and that's when she says, turn around, put your hands behind your head, interlock your
and
fingers.
he's like, I didn't do it, and goes to run away, and they grab him.
yeah.
That's the third time he tried to escape
Yeah.
out of that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Uh,
cops there.
And that's when Trevor shows up and said, "That's the guy
That's
right
the guy
there."
I was telling you about.
Yeah.
That's him.
So
Like-
this is one more thing that fucked
Just-
him over.
Just, I
They
mean,
really could have ended the episode right there.
I thought
The
that
deck
was
is-
going to.
not in his favor
No, not
at all.
Not at all.
So, which makes me kind of feel like, even if he didn't do it, I feel like he might get fucking charged for this shit, no matter what.
It
Like,
depends on how good. That
I mean,
lawyer
it's
guy
just
is.
because there's so much shit stacked against him.
Yeah, well, and also if he would just like,
You
because
know?
I mean, he's already caught. So if he would just open his mouth and explain the.
And
whole
then they
night-
brought the neighbor down too
like
to
start-
the precinct or whatever. Like
start
he came
from,
in too.
Like going, he
Well,
wants
yeah,
to go
they
to
do
that
that
party.
with
Yeah,
murder,
no, I
you
know.
Like, that's-
because
I
he was a
mean-
witness. He was a call. He
Yeah.
called. I mean, he didn't witness it, but you know,
Well, but he saw the.
they're
guy-
gonna talk to him. They're gonna find out
that-
what he saw.
We kind of glossed over it, but as she's searching him,
Right,
which I mean, you kind of have to be thorough, or you'll fuck yourself over.
right.
But as she's searching him, he said, "I said he left in a taxi. I didn't say he hailed a taxi. It was his own taxi."
And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I said."
And then she looks at him like, "What the fuck?" And that's when
Yeah.
she turns him. And then she sees the knife before she even pulls it out. But so then,
It's like a light bulb went off in her head.
Yeah. And
oh
she's-
yeah, you could
she-
see
like-
it.
She's like, oh,
Oh,
it's probably
shit.
this guy. I'm gonna be careful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, totally. And then as a viewer, you're thinking there like, "Oh, he's
He's
fucked
fucked.
right now."
Yeah, it's
Like
true.
you knew he was fucked, but you're like, "Oh my god, he's even more fucked."
Mm-hmm.
So then, I mean, basically, they interview him. Box interviews him.
Well, they strip him down and put him in.
No,
Scrubs
they
or-
interview him.
They interview him
first.
first, and then because he doesn't
Oh,
say
yeah, and then-
anything, they're
yeah.
like, okay, well, we'll do all what we need to do. We'll talk later.
And
Yeah.
then he has to take his clothes off,
Yeah,
and they
strip
fucking.
him. They give him normal clothes.
Yeah, the
So
prison.
then they go to they set him down in the chair again, and then they're gonna do all their swabs and all that.
And he talks, and he doesn't talk a lot.
And that's the worst thing he could do.
oh yeah.
Like you're not supposed to say shit. Like, I want a lawyer.
See, and that's what I
I
mean.
want a lawyer.
That's why it's where I mean, Box like he's a good cop.
But this
He's a
plays
good
on
de-
that he's
a good
naive.
he's a good detective, but he's playing this fool.
Well, and to me, it shows that Nas has never had a run-in with the law.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows more because he's like a straight
Yeah.
A student, smart kid, never had a run-in with the law, so he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
He also
in
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
mind of thinking is, I'm just going to explain to them I didn't do it, like, and
Yeah,
and it'll be
he doesn't-
okay.
I mean, he might know how much trouble he's in, but I don't think he realizes.
But he also is all he's saying is I didn't do. He's not explaining anything.
No, not at all.
But still, I
That's
mean,
another thing wrong against him.
Jerome, if you ever get taken down, don't just say I want a
yeah,
lawyer.
I know. I'm just saying. At that point, he's fucked, and all he's saying is I didn't do it.
Right.
They're not gonna believe you for that.
Well, of course not. And the guy, you know,
Obviously, I know. But I'm saying,
I mean,
so, like,
he tells
but if
Detective
that's all you
Box,
say, you have to
I want to
say-
go home.
Yeah. So it makes him look
So-
more like a pussy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think he's a puss. I mean,
Oh, he's a huge pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a
but
gigantic pussy.
yeah,
I mean,
But I don't. Anyone would want to go home at that point.
You remember?
Yeah, but you know you're not going to go home, so why say that? Why be like, I just want to go home?
You know when he sits down and he looks over at that black guy and the guy goes, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And he just looks down like that. Like, I mean,
what is he gonna do? Stand up and fucking charge him?
Why not? He's in cuffs.
The other guy, the black guy, wasn't in cuffs.
He was in cuffs.
Was he?
Yeah, the black guy was in cuffs. He's not.
He was cuffed to the thing. He probably still would have kicked his ass. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
At least throw a fuck you. He's not like he's getting up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't think it would be as good if he wasn't a pussy. I mean, you got to.
Well, it wouldn't be as if he was. Like
I think he's a pretty damn good actor too. Because like there's some of the scenes are just like you can feel like his anxiousness and
when he leaves
the intensity of it. It's like
he,
oh my god!
When he tries to run at that last part where they all grab him, like
it's just like
you can feel for him.
He's almost the same character as he's in that movie Jake Gyllenhaal where they like try to go videotape the news.
Oh yeah,
he's basically the same guy in that. Which might, because like a lot of the things like this happen in that too, which is partly why like I didn't find it as crazy because like I've seen that with him before.
Oh yeah.
But that's a very good movie. You should watch that since you like him.
Right.
I don't remember what the movie's called though.
That's what that guy at work, the guy that likes Silicon Valley was
like.
It's something weird. It's something weird though. It's called like whatever that profession is called. It's called whatever that is. Yeah. But it's with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I remember I wanted to see it, and then I saw like 45 minutes of it. I'm like, this is fucking retarded. Because I didn't know that's what it was about.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I've seen it. I saw it once because we got it from Redbox, and then it was on HBO. I made Taylor watch it, and she liked it a lot.
Well, nice. So I mean, we're on. It's
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, that's what it is.
Oh, Hess thought it was about fucking worms.
Yeah, I thought it was about worms that are trying to go in people's buttholes and shit.
Wow.
Anyways.
So you have penis swab written down.
Yes.
Wow.
Caught my eye.
Nice notes.
He loves the penis swab.
I bet he does.
I give him one every night.
So tell him what Mom did when you guys watched this.
So he asked him if he could have the DNA swab, and he asked like.
Yeah, he's like, you don't have to do it, but
it'll look so. See, that's what I
he's definitely playing him like a fiddle.
This is what I didn't like.
I get what I get.
It's probably because I think he's innocent, and everyone else thinks he's guilty. So who knows? I could be.
I hope he's innocent, but
part of me kind of hopes he killed her.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think that'd be interesting.
If he just fucking whacked her fucking 1,000 times.
Because he's like never done anything like that before, so he's so messed up.
Just one night of ecstasy and coke, and he just fucking loses his mind.
Yeah, no, he could. Yeah.
And then he gets off, and then he kills another one.
Oh, season 2. That's season 2. He becomes a murderer.
He goes to Boston.
See, I don't think that'll happen, but I mean that would be cool.
I'm pretty
sure.
I know, okay. But I mean, like,
I'm pretty sure.
Like, I don't think that'll happen.
Let's do another 8 episodes, guys.
Well, is it on BBC?
Yeah.
There's 3 seasons.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons of the BBC one.
Yeah, that was my little research bit. Thanks for fucking it up.
Well, it's not research. It's fucking on the screen at the end of this.
I don't do that. As soon as it cuts, I'm out. I'm like, burp, see you later.
Does it say that based on the show with 3
seasons? It's based on criminal justice.
No, it says based on the BBC show.
Yeah, criminal justice.
Criminal justice. And I was like, huh.
And
but you told me it was 3 seasons.
But that show, it's actually he's a white guy. He's not a Pakistani guy.
Oh.
So.
I kind of want to watch that.
That's what I was going to say at the end was maybe after we finish this, we could watch like that and then talk about that just to
talk about the
not necessarily cover every episode, but like
we could
watch all 8 and then just like compare them to see how similar they are.
That'd be interesting.
It would be like, what's that show you watched?
Grace Point and something else Point.
Which I like.
Same exact main actor.
See, the only thing is I like the American version. It was cool, but I totally didn't want to watch another version of it.
I thought the other version was way better. I like the
probably. I mean, it was like okay at best. I didn't want to watch another one.
And since we're on the topic of one of the writers of this show is Richard Justice, I think, and he was a writer on The Wire.
Oh.
So they actually have a writer who wrote on The Wire writing on this show.
Did you see James Gandolfini's a producer?
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the show. This pilot was made 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's been dead a little while.
Yeah.
So he produced.
It's Richard Price is the guy's name who he wrote for The Wire, and he's actually one of the writers on the show too. So
that's pretty interesting.
Nice.
Might be why there's some people from The Wire in the show.
Well, that and HBO.
Yeah,
And it's HBO, yeah.
That's probably a big thing. Too.
They seem to recycle a lot of. I mean, I'm fine with it. I like it, especially if I like a show and then I see the guy. Like,
I think they just find good people.
yeah.
You know.
So
I don't remember where we're even at. Oh, penis swab.
Yeah.
So they asked him for the DNA swab. So when I'm watching it with Angela, and he goes, "Now, you know, you can say no, but we're gonna need a penis swab." And Angela goes, "Oh God!" And I'm like,
did she watch it?
"Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah." And I go, "Well, they don't go in your hole for the penis swab. They just
No.
swab the outside." She's like, "Oh, I thought they'd go in the hole."
No,
I'm
they
like,
do.
No, they do not.
No, they
Yes,
don't.
yes, they do.
No, they don't.
What? Why would they need inside his hole?
Are you kidding? If you go get like an STD test, they stick a fucking Q-tip down the fucking tip of your
Yeah,
dick.
but they're not giving.
They're
They're
not
not getting
giving
an
an
STD
STD
test.
test.
They're just swabbing it.
They're swabbing it for her.
I
shit.
guess maybe.
You guess maybe.
I think
Who
they would have
knows?
shown us this expression if they put it in his hole.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
everything else that they showed, I'm pretty sure they would show that.
I guess I'm with Angela.
Especially it's HBO and they love to show dicks.
Yeah.
If they would have shown something else with that.
They're like they show it like actually go in
Oh
like
my
inside.
God.
Flip.
Not Game of
through.
Thrones. They won't go that far.
God. So after the old penis swab, God. Then he's getting fingerprinted or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I want a lawyer.
Yeah, it's like a little light bulb went off.
Well,
Like,
he
ding.
saw Totoro. I don't remember Totoro's name.
Who was the gay guy, female, whatever?
Gay guy.
You know what I'm talking. You
yeah,
know who, Paulina or something. He called her or something
he
like
walked out and
that.
said bye, Paul. It was Paulina. Okay, Paulina.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be back. Like, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. So as he's leaving,
She was like a night walker.
as he's leaving, he like sees
He sees
Nas
him.
and walks out. And he's like, "What's with that guy?" And like, "Oh yeah, he."
Well, he walked out first.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He walked
Oh,
out and
yeah.
saw an officer and said, "What's with the Pakistani guy or whatever?"
He's
he
like
called
in
him
here
there."
for slicing up a.
Cutting a girl.
And what's
cutting a
funny,
girl.
He goes, "Him or who did it?" Like he said, it like as in like that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no way that guy fucking did
Yeah.
that. So the way
That's
I
what I
took it
liked
was
it.
he doesn't know that this guy is being charged for murder.
He just thinks
No.
he's
Like
just
he,
fucking
I did,
stabbing
yeah, I think it
someone.
was like it's a domestic dispute or something.
Yeah.
So that's when he's like, "Fuck it, like I can fucking get this guy off." There's no way he did that.
Yeah. So
Oh,
then,
yeah,
and then after
absolutely.
he's talking to him, he walks out. He's like trying to get a call. He's like, like the girl was dead or got murdered or something. He's like, "Oh, really?" And then he finds out the detective on it. And
That's
all
how
that
he
too.
found out. He goes, "What the fuck is Box doing on it?"
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
knows Box. He
Yeah.
knows Box is good because his reaction when Box was the detective was, "Fuck."
Yeah.
It's, so yeah, but he becomes his lawyer. He gets him to call home
And he's like a Saul Goodman, like
a little bit.
just
I
a
can
little
see a little
chinky,
bit, yeah.
cheesy. Like, did you see his cards? It's like you don't pay anything until you're free or something like when he pulled out his cards.
Oh,
and
I
they
didn't see that.
were wrapped in a
I
rubber
didn't
band, and it said, you pay zero till you're free or something like that.
That is something Saul would have.
So
on his
I
card.
did just like I was like, oh, it's like a Saul Goodman right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I
And
the
then
Saul Goodman's kind of a good analogy because I think whereas Saul Goodman's like
I don't want to say he's like a hack, but
no, not at all.
he's
But
like,
he-
you know what I mean? Like he's not working at a fucking
no,
big wig
But he's
fucking lawyer.
but Saul Goodman is also not stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's where. Well, so I see the comparison where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like he's kind of he knows what he's doing. Like
He just might have had some bad run-ins.
when he asked him if he was
with-
American and he's like named two Yankees going to the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
one Mississippi. So I said to Jerome, I go, could you do that? He's like,
No,
no.
no way in hell.
What did he
I could do
say? Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter? Is that what he
Yeah.
said?
He
Yeah.
goes Rivera and Jeter. He goes, all right. I go, Jerome, could you do that? And he's like, no. I go, he must be Pakistani.
that. I could be.
Yeah.
My name's Nas now.
Ugh.
That's funny.
You're gonna be arrested. I need a lawyer.
So Trevor picks him out of the lineup.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to initial. Trevor doesn't want to like he was like I don't want to fucking. He's like that's him. Like that's the guy right there. And he's like I need your initial. And he's like
Everything he did was like he wanted to do it his own way, and that's the whole reason he was down there for all that time.
right, but he's just
He
like
didn't
I feel
wanna
like he's just like
cooperate.
almost not necessarily paranoid, but he's like why the fuck? Like I
Well, 'cause
just
he-
told you that's the guy.
He
Like
want-
why do I
Well,
have
think,
to
I think it's
initial?
partly because he doesn't like him. So he's like, I want to get this guy in trouble, but I don't want to be involved with
Right.
things. I don't want my name on anything down here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because that's when he covers up for, he's like, oh, yeah, I was by myself.
Now, one thing that'll be interesting that comes into effect, they broke the chain of evidence.
Right.
Oh, by sending the stuff off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Which makes you think he might get off for default of
something like
paperwork.
That, yeah.
Because, that happens where, not necessarily for murder, but, they fuck up
they
fuck up evidence,
and then they can't prove that he did
or
it.
papers don't get filed in time, and then people get let go.
Yeah, usually not a murder, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
because there's there's more evidence, too.
That could play a key role in...
Yeah, you would think, right?
because that's a pretty big deal. So, but the guy didn't seem to think it was. He's like, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't think you're fucking up evidence on fucking girls who've been stabbed 66 times.
Yeah, all the time.
And I don't know how. Like he had someone else take it.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
I don't know what that involves necessarily, but it could come back to haunt him.
Right.
Definitely, yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. That episode.
When the dad finds out, he runs out to get in his cab. He's like, "Oops."
Oh yeah, that's when he finds out. Like,
yeah, he
oh
runs
shit,
out there. He
where
grabs
the
his keys, runs out
fuck
there and
is
like,
my cab?
Oh, my cab's
And
gone.
you know what I was thinking? Is like, wow, they have 2 pair of keys for the cab, huh? Because obviously he's got one. Like,
yeah, when he grabbed it, I was like, oh, why didn't he just grab those keys instead of the one in the drawer?
yeah.
And it was odd. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so where do you think it's where? I'll ask Jerome because you've seen the next 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think it's going? Like, where do you think the next couple episodes will go from here?
I think it'll be a lot of him and the lawyer. Like, I think it's gonna mostly be him explaining what happened to the lawyer, and the lawyer pretty much telling him he's fucked.
Right.
But I don't know. I really can't predict what's gonna happen. Especially
where do you want it? Like, where would you want it to go?
I want it to eventually go to court and also them find out more information, and then it's eventually.
Because there are long episodes, so it's not like you're
either us to either find out that he did it or find out the person that did it, and then watch them try to either prove that he did it or prove that he did it.
So at the end of this, you want to know what happened.
Yeah, I want to.
You don't want it to be one of those shows where it's like, leave it up to your imagination. You fucking
shit out of me when they
that drives me nuts too. Don't worry, trust me, I'm right there with you.
I want to know.
You probably like that shit, don't you? When they're like,
necessarily.
Because like I
can't even think of an example.
Like I said, I was doing some
Sopranos.
Oh, Sopranos is a good example.
I've never seen the end of that, so don't run it. But
okay, so what happens?
I know, I know that they leave you hanging.
I didn't mind the end of this.
But
that would bother the shit out of me.
See, I read
like if they did that with Arrow. Oh my god, I'd be angry.
I read some, like I said, I read some stuff today at work on it, and one of the reviews, and I think it was like, I don't know, it was some news outlet, like a big news outlet, and it said it was
Pleeka News.
It was like extremely dramatic. Will be on the edge of your seat, but will leave you completely disappointed, or something of that nature. So I was like,
they've seen the entire show, or have they just seen the first couple?
I don't. Just from that quote makes me think they've seen the show.
I mean, people like that might have. I don't know though.
Yeah, I would never read a review.
I would, but I wouldn't.
It just popped. It was like one of those where it was on Google, and it was like one of the headlines, like
especially if it's
that I could click on.
I'll click on. See, I wonder what
I was like,
someone else thinks.
Because I wanted to get like a backstory, because I didn't know that this was based on a BBC show.
I only knew because Jerome told me.
Yeah.
Well, and because
that's why I was just like,
look it up, and I did, and I was like,
I'm gonna go back to see if there's any kind of
that was the first thing that popped up when I looked it up.
Any kind of backstory to it. So, and then that's when I found out that they recorded this episode like 3 years ago, and it's just been on the.
Can you tell that it's older? Compared
it finally
to
came to fruition.
No, you can't tell at all.
Now, I won't tell you what happens in the next.
It's very
episode.
dark and ominous throughout the whole. Like, you never see daylight in this episode, except for at the very end.
Except at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
When it's daytime.
Or at the beginning of the episode, and then at the end of the episode. But other than that, it's
bookmarked or bookended with daylight.
Yeah, well, it is called The Night of.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you what I thought was going to happen after I watched the first episode.
Yes.
I think that
You thought that.
Were you don't? Okay, go ahead. Go. Just tell us what you were going to say.
okay, that it's going to be a story about him and this lawyer. The lawyer is going to be like fighting his way.
Like, I kind of get the feeling that once he figures this out, like he's hoping that this is going to be his big case to kind of like put his name out there and get him on the map.
Yeah, and he'll be fighting like the city and
Yeah.
like Muslims for Muslims, and like he will get him off. It'll be a huge case. He'll be like the little guy versus the big guy.
Right, David versus Goliath.
Yeah, the whole thing. That's where I thought it was going when I was done with the episode. It was like, okay, so all the cards are stacked against Nas, but this
Right.
lawyer comes out of nowhere.
save the day.
He's going to save the day.
Right.
That seems way too obvious to me.
Did it go that way?
Well, it's not over.
I know, but has it gone that way?
Do you want the answer to that?
No.
No.
That's what I was going to ask before you said it, but then you wouldn't have been able to say, because I was going to say, did it go the way you thought it was going to go? But then I was like, well, I'll just let you say it, and then I can't ask that question, so it's okay. I was going to ask you, did it go the way you expected it to go?
I think we got that.
But yeah, so. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, was it like counting your steps right now?
No,
or-
every time.
What, did he fart?
Yeah.
What, are you getting a phone call?
Yeah, he was getting a phone call.
You can get a phone call on that thing?
No.
No, it just tells you, like, who's calling. He's wearing his Fitbit.
I know, but that's why I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
realize you
it
could
just
get a
shows you,
fucking
yeah.
phone call.
That
That's
is pretty cool, though, that they can take that. It'd be cooler though, if you could answer the phone call on the Fitbit.
Hi,
Maybe like a-
I'm
like an
power
Apple
walking
Watch.
right now.
That's funny.
Hi. But yeah, so you obviously like the show, Jerome? You're going to continue?
Yeah, like,
to-
I'll continue it. I don't like it as much as he does. He's a little bit upset. Like, I wouldn't have watched that first episode 3 times.
Well,
Yeah, I get it.
I didn't think you were going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, because
so I wanted to
yesterday he goes, I don't know if Jerome's going to watch it. And I go, well, I was hoping you did, just so that we had another perspective to
Yeah. Like,
see,
I
you
think
know.
it's a really good show. I want to see where it goes, but like I didn't find it like as crazy and like spectacular as you did. But I definitely thought it was a really, really.
I think it was a
show.
very good. I think it's written very well.
very warily.
I think it's written very well. It keeps you. It's like you said. It's a drama. It keeps you on the edge of your seat,
It's also
and it's not necessarily super fast paced.
yeah.
So you kind of have to. But see, when I watched the episode, like it flew by for
No,
me.
it definitely does. Yeah.
Like it did not feel like I was watching that for like an hour and 15 minutes.
The
like,
beginning of it reminded me of a little bit like True Detective, where like the beginning, like the first half of the show, maybe nothing's really going on,
yeah,
but it's still interesting. Like
Yeah.
the stuff, because like nothing goes on, but stuff does. But it's still like really interesting. This like how they show it. So that it reminded me of True Detective like that.
It kind of reminded me of True Detective too.
Okay.
A little. The
Yeah.
first episode. Now,
The rest of it,
not
no.
anymore.
2 and 3 didn't remind me of True Detective at all.
No.
but-
Don't say any spoilers, but like out of the first, like, do you like the second and third episodes as much as you like the first one, or
No.
no, you don't? Like, is it a? I don't want to get into that. I want to ask questions, but I don't want to know.
Simmer down now, cheesy.
I won't get crazy with the talk, but the second episode, I don't want to say I was disappointed because I still want to know what's going on. But it just wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of hard. I mean, because
Especially-
everything happened in the first episode.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. But the third one was,
Better than the second?
I think so. It was interesting. At no point did I see where it was going, but like I was like, and then yeah, so stuff happened. As vague as I can be, I like the third one a wee bit better than
the
the
second?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So are we gonna
Good to know.
Are we gonna do second and third this weekend, or are we just gonna do second, or?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can do it, I would. I mean, if you guys can do it and I can do it, I might have my kids, I might not. I don't know. But if I don't, and if you guys are cool, then
Yeah, I think
I would
it'd
be
good.
fine with it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That way we can get caught up, you know?
Yeah, because it'd be really cool doing it like when the show's live on, because we can watch
Yes.
it and that week talk about it, and it'd be brand new. Because then we'll all be like, oh, what's going to happen next week? And, like, kind of,
Right, we
like,
can
put out our theories and stuff
Right.
like that, too.
Yeah, and look like fools for not knowing what the hell's going on. That's
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think this is going to happen, and then it doesn't.
I think he's going to turn white. No. But I think it's a good show.
Cool.
So far, yeah, definitely.
How do you guys end this podcast usually? Jesus, like, has to do a sing number or something?
Yeah, he usually does like a thing from Oklahoma.
See
Really?
you later.
Is that really how you end it?
No.
Goodbye.
God. This is where I walk off.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. I usually drop the mic, just like,
God.
peace out. No, so yeah, that's our first episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed talking about it. So feel free to give it a like, share it on any social media outlets, and go give it a like. Talking TV, Nick and Josh.
Special guest Jerome.
With the special guest Jerome. We're on iTunes. We're on Spreaker. YouTube.
YouTube, Pleeka.
Yeah, realpleeka.com.
I think that's everything, right?
And Instagram, everything.
Yeah, you
So-
follow us on Instagram at The Real Pleeka.
Yeah, the Real Pleeka on Instagram.
Do we have anything on Instagram?
There's
Yeah,
like
we
9.
we have an unboxing. We have a couple pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you never know. You never know.
I'm waiting for Hess to upload his pictures on there.
I still have to get the goddamn shit, guy.
Yeah.
I gotta get the password and all
I'm
that.
going to give it to you right now so everybody else can sign into
Right
it too.
now.
It's
Right now.
It's Hess is a faggot at
It's
gmail.com.
yeah. It's
No.
it's
when I was making
no.
it,
It's the Real Pleeka, and the password is Jerome's sucks black cock.
how'd you know?
I figured that would be it.
When we were making it, I almost wanted to make the username because you could change it. I was going to make it Hess is a fag, and then, and then I was
Wow.
going to follow you.
What a fucking dick.
When the picture's going to be Pleeka and all this stuff.
What a
but
fucking dick.
I
You
didn't
probably
do
offend
that.
some people.
It
be
was
like,
funny too
Probably.
because I remember when he made it, he like the first person he added was you,
And I was like,
all you do is look at your phone all day, and then
No.
and
it,
then,
it
and
took
then-
you like 6 hours to let us follow you.
yeah, like what the fuck? All he does is
oh,
look at his
shit.
phone.
Sometimes it gets lost in transition.
Gets lost in transition. Like sometimes it's on the train and it's
Well,
stuck there for a while.
yeah. There's sometimes where I miss your fucking text too.
Right.
Where I'll be like, oh shit, like fuck, I won't have like a notification on the screen,
Yeah, that happens
and then
to me. Never.
and then I get home. I swear to God, there's something wrong with my phone. Make a phone call on my phone. You can barely hear out of
I
this
can
mother.
barely hear on my phone. So.
I mean, it's
My phone's
ridiculous.
fine.
So
Your phone's not fine.
My phone's pretty sexy if you ask me.
Oh yeah. Well, could you
So,
buy-
yeah.
Can you buy an app?
Yeah, I can't now because I fucking updated that piece of shit.
anyways, yeah. So stay tuned. Feel free to. Oh, we're also all three on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter. Let us know if you have any theories. Obviously, don't spoil it for us.
You can
Oh,
spoil it.
Nick,
only
Nick,
spoil it
Nick
for
has
Hess.
seen everything currently.
Tweet Hess all the
No,
spoilers to the show.
don't do that. We'll put
Or
put all of
pictures
our
shit.
we'll put all of our Twitters in the description of this.
Yeah,
So
I will.
feel free to drop
Think
us a line. Tell us
yeah,
your
Hess uploaded this
tell
one.
us your theories and everything.
Yeah.
What?
No, nothing. See you next time.
Jesus. All right. Have a good one, guys.